Hey, what's going on, everybody? Laz here as always, and welcome back to episode 4 of Final Fantasy 1. Now, last time we played, we finally managed to make it to the elf prince who gave us the mystic key that we need to make our way around the map one more time, unlock any magically sealed doors that we couldn't before so we can get properly equipped and ready for the next fight. So, as always, make sure you're comfy, you got a snack or drink, and let's rock. Now, when you have the key, something to look at. When you have the key, something to look out for is, instead of leaving this area right away, hug the castle wall and come up here to around to the side. The little building over here has a few chests. You have a mithril hammer, 800 gil, 700 gil, and bronze gloves. Now these are really important because one, to get the trophy for collecting all the chests, but two, these items are actually really good, especially because mithril stuff is some of the strongest stuff you can get in the game until you get to like late game stuff. Like mithril equipment is going to be like your best friend for a good chunk of time while you're playing this game. Okay, so I'm going to speed ahead, and I'm just going to, because I need to double back and I need to open up a few doors with the mystic key. So I will be right back, and I will talk to you once we get to the places that have chests. Okay, I'm back. So what we're gonna do real quick is we're actually gonna use our high potions. We're gonna get everybody back to full. And we're also actually gonna use our ethers on Cerberosif and Mickey. And we should be good. Okay, so these little dudes populate the world in many different dungeons, and when you talk to them, it's just an immediate encounter and fight. We should be able to beat them fairly easily. But something else is that in this game, they have chest encounters as well, where if you open the chest, boom, it'll say monsters, and they kind of like spring out at you and ambush you. So those are a pain in the ass to deal with, but once you beat them, you get the treasure that's inside. So it's kind of like fighting a mimic in D&D, for anyone that gets that reference. You beat them, you get money and experience. Monsters, boom, anacondas. Just a box full of snakes. Then inside is a silver armlet, which actually is gonna be really good for Mickey. Mickey needs that. That's gonna boost her stats by 11, and that's really good. Okay, so now, oh god, Dilf got fucked up during that fight. Okay, now I'm gonna head over here. I have encounters turned off only because I don't want to be stopped like every 5 feet. So more Pisco demons. Jesus. We're doing so much damage, man. It's so good. Okay. And here was an antidote. Like, these locked doors don't usually have like a lot of like super awesome, like amazing treasures, but they usually do have some pretty decent stuff. Monsters! Ugh. At some point during the game, especially late game, once we get up to like level like 60 plus, and like almost everybody's health is at 999, like you'll be sitting there, you'll be like, ooh, 100 damage, that kind of hurts a little bit. But at this point in the game, like 100 damage, and you're just like, ooh, ooh, that stings a lot. All right, so I will zoom ahead really quick while we move on to the next area that has the locked doors. So I will be right back. Okay, so back at the Western Keep, you want to head over here. Instead of going through that door where we fought the Dark Elf King, you want to head over here, wrap up and around. No bats. Now you want to be careful when you activate these chests. You want to make sure that you are, back up to full health. Everything's fine. Actually, instead of wasting my high potions, I'm gonna do this real quick. Items, potage. cottages are freaking fantastic in this game. As long as you're not at the bottom of a dungeon that's like 8 levels down and you have to go all the way back down, that can be a little rough, but it's not usually super bad. But the reason you want to be careful is because these chests, all 3 of them have monsters. I think so. They're already going to start their attack. Yeah. Gotta wait for them. There's only 3 of them left. It's fine. Oh, Jesus. Leave Mickey alone. God. Holy crap, dude. That was rough, dude. They would not leave her alone. Ooh, wait, was that a Crocier? And a Falchion. Ooh. You want that? Staff topped with iron ring. Yeah, even with plus 14 to attack, it still is weaker than his fists. And that's gonna be a fairly constant thing as we move throughout this let's play. So, monsters, mummies. Now with these undead guys, if I were to cast the Dia spell that Mickey has, she can probably wipe all of them, which I just might do actually. Hold up, let me see this. God bless. Yara and Fyra. Fire! That actually might kill most. Okay, but with Yara as well, yeah, almost 200 damage for each of those, which is God. These abilities in this game, especially the first one, are so broken. When you get to Final Fantasy II, it becomes a bit less so. Like targeting every enemy divides the damage by however many enemies are out there compared to just targeting one enemy, which does kind of suck. But if they didn't, it would be way too busted with the damage output. Like Final Fantasy II spells and stuff like that are insanely broken. And lastly, monsters. Ooh, defend. Alright, and defend. I just want to show you what happens when she's the only one that uses this magic on undead. Boom, all of them gone. So good. And we got a power staff. Does anyone want? I don't think anyone wants the power staff. All right, very good. Now we have 2 more places to go, so I'm going to zoom ahead and get back to you in just a minute. Okay. Now that we're back at the Chaos Shrine, if you remember, I went to the left side before. That's because these areas didn't have, I couldn't get in here without the keys. Now we have a rune blade. I believe up here is the Werebuster, which is, I believe, is super effective against like werewolf type enemies. Which, let me see. Okay, equip. Mole. Very effective against spellcasters. Now, if we go to you, yep, you definitely want the Werebuster, because plus 15 to plus 18, yeah. This is effective against beasts, so any like wolves that we come up against, werewolves, wargs, anything like that, this sword is going to do a lot more damage. And mine is going to be really effective against anything that casts spells. Unfortunately, these swords get very quickly overshadowed by some of their better counterparts, but we'll get there when we get there. All right, and then there's one more area, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here we are at Castle Cornelia. What we want to do is head up a little bit to the right, wrap around the castle, all the way up around. You'll see old wizard dude over here. You don't have to talk to him, but time has come to use the key and open the doors. The equipment within is sure to help you. So you actually need to come here because you have a mithril knife, which is really good, a saber, whole ass blonde sword fighter lady, a cottage, And this is what you need to come here for. This is nitro powder. This is actually a mandatory item that you have to get that they don't tell you about in order to progress the game. And we have the tent and iron armor. Sure, okay, so we have iron armor. And no one wants any of that, so at least we have items to sell. Okay, now we're gonna leave the castle. Come down here. We're actually gonna heal up real quick, pop off our items, and then get ready for the next leg of our adventure. What we do, we hop into our boat, come up here. All right, and the first thing we're gonna need to do is come down over here. Hello. This is Mount Duragar. This is the home of the dwarves, and these aren't like Lord of the Rings, like D&D style dwarves. These are like the hi ho, off to work we go, like dorky dwarves. So I really am not bothered by stealing everything that isn't bolted down or locked. Such as a tent, a great helm, ether, a worm killer, potion, mithril mail, 575 gil, another cottage. Like, I just take everything that's not battened down. Which sword that's effective against dragons, which is always really nice. His defense is looking better. His defense isn't that great, but his evasion is okay. But as we get higher and higher level, his defense is gonna get even better. So his defense, while it's not gonna be super beneficial, we can always cast like protect spells on him and stuff. Nitro powder. The explosive force in this powder will have me canal open in no time flat. I owe you barons. Yeah, this is like the hidey ho kind of dwarves. I don't vibe with that too much. I prefer the badass, thick accent, like big old beard and buffed little dude dwarves. Those are my kind of dwarves. And with that, we have just opened up a passage out from inside this little lake-like area, and we're free to leave. He's so excited. Cannot wait to see what lies out there beyond that canal. Probably death and destruction given the theme of this game, but we'll see. Okay, so now we've stolen everything that's battened down and irrevocably changed the landscape. I want to introduce you to this guy. His name is Smith. He's a smithy. If we give him some adamantite, he'll be able to craft us a very, very powerful sword. Problem being is that in order to get that adamantite, we need to in order to craft the adamantite, that we don't get that until like one of the last stages of the game, so it's really only good for like the final boss, but you know. There we go. So now we can leave. Actually, the first thing we're gonna do is, instead of going to the place that we're supposed to go to, which is this place right over here, we're actually gonna be going to a different place. Well, actually, let me see. So we have 29,000. We don't have enough to get the thing that I want here, but they do sell some additional white mage spells. They're always good. And this one has Kiraga, Life, Yaga, and Kilara. Yaga is always good to have. Kilara is amazing in this game. And we'll get Kiraga as well. And if anything, if we don't like all of the black mage spells, then we'll just buy the Kiraga for him as well. Kiraga, Surge, Teleport, and Soga. Instantly kills all enemies. I don't need that. I don't need Teleport either. Goes Fire Dragon. I will get Fire Raga because I will get Surge just to get away from that. Oh, Surge and Teleport only if I become a red wizard. Okay. The Slow Ride could get it. Fine. Okay, so weapons we're definitely not going to get here. The only thing I really want from the armor shop here is the knight's armor. That's a plus 34 compared to plus 24. So we get an extra 10 defense. It's more weighty, so our evasion is absolute crap, but when you're only taking like 1 to 6 damage every attack, you know, it's not that bad. Okay. Yeah, because all the weapons here, they're not going to really sell anything that's good currently. Yeah, the long sword right here seems like it's going to be better, but the place we're about to go to is much, much better. I just want to stop here and get these spells real quick. Yeah, trust me, the place we're about to go to, much better equipment. All right, well, that'll do it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I had a lot of fun today. We didn't get a lot of story progression done, but that's okay. We're gonna need to take this episode and next episode just to grind some levels, buy some equipment, and move on. I should be able to skip through it all fairly easily and get us back on track for the story. So if you had a good time today, please hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't already. It helps out the channel, and I want to see us all grow together. So as always, I love you all. Stay safe, and until next time, stay frosty.